What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here. Today I'm going to be talking about my basic impressions of Season of the Splicer. Now, first things first, basic impressions is that this is a really good start to a season. The narrative is heading towards it being an important story about the House of Light and Mithrax, as well as some political turmoil within the city and the Vanguard's choice to provide aid to the Elitsni. Now, even though the House of Light stands alongside us against the darkness, it does seem to be troublesome, especially with the reintroduction of Lakshmi 2, I can never pronounce that, who is now playing a pretty big role so far. How this narrative fits in with the threat of the Black Fleet and Savathun's incoming attack, we have to wait and see, but Lakshmi may be the key to connecting this story to the threat of Savathun. We may make a video future down the lines to talk about that. Now, the seasonal activity is also on the better side of things. This time, as a 6-player match-made mode, I like it much more than Battlegrounds, and Battlegrounds was a really solid seasonal mode. It's just that since these overrides have more players alongside some awesome artistic settings, I really dig them. So far, the final bosses aren't as easy as those from Battlegrounds, but by no means does that mean that they are hard. I just feel like I can't single-handedly take out the boss with my Lament. I actually need other Guardians. And also, the loot on face value has me extremely excited to grind some rolls out and see what's the best to offer. Now, jumping into some positives, we're going to be getting to details. First on our list is the story, which is expanding our allies and the gray of the world. Now, Mithrax specifically, this character is finally joining the story of the world of Destiny. It's got me super excited. Seeing him in the trailer was pretty dope as well, but seeing him when we launched up the game for the first time was better than I expected. He plays an important role in the world of Destiny. Also, his splicing abilities can be an important asset to us in the incoming war with Savathun and our forces. Now, another thing on this list, which I was pleasantly surprised by, is the politics. No way in hell did we ever think we would explore the politics of this world. The most we got before was Lord Saladin Osiris criticizing Zavala for being more of a politician than a soldier. Now we are getting details about the city's council and how the people we protect feel. When the fuck did any of us thought we would ever see that happen? Also, I love how we are still talking about the Red War, because that truly deserves to still be talked about. Like, the Red Legion took over the last city and nearly wiped us out. To see the effects of that from the viewpoint of Lakshmi, I can never pronounce that fucking name, but it's totally shocking. And the fact that we're seeing her playing an actual role instead of her just being a vendor is also a pleasant surprise. I never thought we would see that. Last point on this politics is that the choice of allowing the House of Light to take refuge where the Scourge of the Past raid took place, it's a fitting spot, especially since the last House of Elitsni that worships the Traveler, or known as them as the Great Machine, is being rewarded by now sitting under it. Also, there's now House of Light Elitsni in the tower? What? Another thing too is weapons, more guns, and no sunsetting. Since sunsetting is now over with gear-wise, Bungie doesn't need to give us a ton of weapons to fill the void, but they did this season, and if I'm correct, we got 30 new weapons this season. 30. That's pretty juicy for me. Also, new mods and the return of summons from Destiny 1 are making the god roll dynamic much more diversified than it was even 2 seasons ago. Now, another thing is Transmog. This is on my positive list, but not the bullshit, but the stuff that's actually good. Now, this will transition into the main bad of this season so far, but when players are able to use a Transmog system, man, is it a beauty. This guy right here, right now, is my guy. I probably won't transmog anything else this season to save up on my free ones until they hopefully make this not so extremely greedy, but when players are able to use this system, it is phenomenal. Bungie did a great job with it besides the greedy shit tied to it. With that being said, let's go on to some negatives. There's not many, it's going to be a very quick section, but the process to use transmog, this has greed all over it. Now, never did I think that transmog wouldn't have some sort of monetization to it, but the lack of ability to grind out to transmog is so insane, you pretty much are forced to buy silver. Not only are you time gated of how many pieces per season you can transmog, but attaining materials are time gated as well. We talk about, waiting 3 to 5 minutes to earn one of the currencies. Like, that's fucking unreal, to be honest. Now, another thing that is a negative, and it's a small one. I mean, hopefully we do see this resolved. I do see this, but as of right now, the threat for this season, what are we supposed to fear this season? Like, seriously, what are we supposed to fear? Last season, the threat was another war with the Cabal, this time against Kaido's forces. The introduction to that made it clear on the threat of the conflict. This season, the Vex put us under, or at least the tower, in a simulation. Now, it does seem to be all of the Soul System, but even then, we don't have a clear understanding on why it's important. We may learn later, but as of now, it's a slight negative for me. Now, that's pretty much all I gotta say on the impressions of Season of Splicer. Again, my basic thoughts is that it's a pretty good start, besides a few things I listed at the end. Transmog is a system you could technically avoid. I mean, I wish people can utilize it more often, because it is a phenomenal system when you can use it, but the greed is destroying that system. And, the threat hopefully on later weeks, I do expect us to find out more. I do think Savathun is connected to this in some way. She does have a control of a Vex mind, and she also may have control of the future War Cult representative Legniski too. There is some, talks about that and in the lore bits and shit like that. But yeah, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative and agree with my impressions or just have your own thoughts, definitely leave a comment down below. Glad to have a conversation with you guys, and leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Now, if you guys are new here and are not subscribed to the channel, we do cover Destiny 2 as well as Call of Duty Warzone. If you want more videos on that, definitely hit that subscribe button. With that being said, that's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.